Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with Harlem Eubank. We're here at Adam Booth's gym in Red Hill. Just first thing I wanted to ask you, you haven't fought since March. You've got a show lined up, I believe, in this month, a couple of weeks' time. How frustrating has it been for you being out in the ring for so long? Because you're at a prospect stage of your career, I guess you want to be out as much as possible.
Yeah, it's always a little bit frustrating. At this stage, you want to be learning, you want to be fighting regularly, improving your skills and developing the craft. So it has been frustrating not being able to get in the ring and get active and work on the things I've been working on in the gym. But I've been working a lot in the gym and developing them skills. So I just want to, from this one in September 21st, I want to get active before Christmas and really get a few in to display kind of what I've been working on.
You're obviously trained by Adam Booth since your second pro fight, we just established off camera. How did that relationship come about?
I was sparring up at Adam's throughout the amateurs, so I had a relationship with Adam all throughout really, and just up here kind of in the deep end, working with professionals and hanging in there and learning, you know. So.
What was your amateur record, and do you still live in Brighton?
Still live in Brighton, yeah, still live in Brighton.
What was your amateur record?
I think it was like 33 fights, majority of them wins. I'm not sure the exact number.
Did you do a couple of Harringay box cups?
Yeah, I won one of the box cups. And then, like the amateurs is, some go your way, some don't. I don't pay too much attention to the result. It's all you win and you learn in the amateurs. It's you can't lose going into fights with less experience and gaining experience, whether that's in the form of a win or a loss.
Do you commute here for training, or do you stay down here during camp?
No, I commute every day. Yeah, up and down.
How long does that take?
I think it's like a 50-minute drive up and the same back down.
That must get a bit wearing after a while.
It's actually all right, you know. Stick a little podcast on the way up. You know.
Any particular favourite?
The Bruce Lee podcast, you know, feed the mind with a little bit of warrior philosophy and
Great stuff.
develop the mind as well as the skills in the gym, you know.
You've had a limited number of pro fights, the majority of which have been around the welterweight limit. There was one fight where you only came in just above the lightweight, or super lightweight, I think we have to call it now. Where do you see your future? You're quite a broad, long-armed, rangy guy.
Yeah, I mean, I've always light welter. It's just on the same day weigh-ins, you're going to be a little bit heavier. You're going to be at your natural weight, and you don't want to cut weight on the day because it's just going to hinder your performance. So I'll always be a light welterweight for now. But obviously it says welterweight when you're weighing in a few hours before the fight. You're going to be that little bit heavier.
We had a bit of a showcase on the Monte Carlo show that Matchroom put on. I can't imagine it went exactly the way you wanted it to. It turned out to be quite a tough fight. Were you at all disappointed that it wasn't more of a showcase?
I think everything happens for a reason, you know. It was a tough fight. It showed other things I need to work on and for the point I'm at in my career, experienced opponent and just displayed other things I need to work on. So I mean, them kind of fights are always only going to do you good in the long run. As I say, it's all about learning. It's all about learning at this stage, and I think you learn a lot from them type of fights.
What's the roadmap for you? Because you're on relatively small hall shows at the moment, getting your experience, which makes sense. You didn't have a massive amateur fights as we've discussed. What's the roadmap in a year or 2 years' time? Where do you want to be?
My kind of thing is I have huge aspirations in the sport. So if I told you now, you'd probably laugh, but it's, I have massive aspirations, which is why I'm training every day. I wouldn't do it if I didn't have big plans in the sport. So I mean, Adam will track the yearly and monthly and kind of check-in points. But my goals are big, so Adam will deal with the smaller check-in points of where I need to be, kind of yearly, monthly.
Do you keep an eye on the kind of top domestic fighters at your weight? Because obviously in a year's time or 18 months' time, you'll be around that level.
I haven't kept too much of an eye. I just prefer to study greats in boxing and learn from them. They say you can only be only be as good as the people you study. So,
and who are those guys? Who are your inspirations?
I love old school fighters. I love the kind of vibe around that old school boxing. So many characters, so many different skills, raw skills. Guys like Sugar Ray Robinson, who you watch and it kind of lights up combat in general. It lights up. It's an art form. It really displays the art form, and that's what drew me to boxing, and that's what I love watching and learning from, and aspiring to display even like a small percentage of the stuff that they can achieve in the ring.
Now, it'd be remiss of me not to talk about the impact of your surname.
Yeah.
So Eubank was steeped in history, both in the past and current fighters. Is it a blessing and also a curse in that in some ways it can open doors, but in other ways it brings pressure?
Yeah, I think it always has been a. I mean, you can use it as a positive or a negative. People always associate your character, mindset, and with theirs, obviously, which I mean is a good thing and a good thing as well, because it's a lot to live up to. It's a lot to live up to what they've achieved and what obviously Junior is achieving currently. But yeah, it's going to bring the best out of you. So regardless, people are gonna be critiquing you more, which again is going to have to make you ask questions of yourself and drive you on as well. And opponents are going to want to bring their best to try and get that name on their record. So again, you're going to have to bring your best. It's a lot more pressure, but it can bring a lot more out of you.
Are people in boxing ever surprised when they meet you, given your last name, how humble you are? Because you're not as extrovert and flamboyant, it's fair to say, as Chris Senior or Chris Junior.
Yeah, everyone has different characters, so I think they hear the name and they expect a certain set of things to tick off their list, but everyone's character is different, and I definitely have a different approach to a different way of doing things, and a different I come across differently to Senior and Junior.
Everyone always talks about those guys. Obviously, your father was a boxer, a professional boxer himself. How much of an influence was he on your career and you taking up boxing? Yeah,
well, I didn't really see any of his fights or Senior's fights in person, because it was before my time. But watching Senior's fights back and seeing my dad's and I mean, my dad still went to the gym and trained and was always training and boxing.
Did he encourage you into the sport?
Not at all, not at all. I mean, I used to do karate from the age of 7 to 11, so I always loved that old school combat philosophy, train focus, the art form. I've always been indulged into that world. So I mean, for me, combat's always been something from young that I had an interest in, and then boxing. I kind of got into boxing at 14, done it for a year, had other things going on as well. So. I really kind of got focused and started training regularly at 18. So it was. I picked it up late. But they say it's in the blood, you know. So it must be running through all of us to some degree.
Before I let you go, I hope it's not too personal. Something I couldn't help noticing was the scar you got on your forehead. Yeah. What's the story behind that?
I haven't got a good story yet, so I think I need a better one. I mean, as a kid, when I was 4, I fell off a swing.
Oh, right.
When you change. I'm
not disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. I need a better story for you guys. Yeah, I fell off head first onto concrete and cracked my skull open. So,
well, it didn't put you off taking risks in your combat.
Oh, exactly. Yes. I mean, you got to embrace things like scars, and it's like it's just something. Scars are something like it's a sign of character, isn't it? It shows
you stand out.
Yeah, it shows you're growing through life. I'm not fazed about scars or anything like that. It's just a sign of character.
Brilliant. Well, Harlem Eubank, we thank you for your time and we wish you the best of luck. Is it the 21st of September?
21st September, Friday night, Southampton.
Thank you.
Cheers. Spot on.